Hello, my little weirdos. I know right now you're looking at this and going, what the hell? Judy, your hair looks like crap. What the hell are you wearing? Do you know the camera's on? Yeah. Yeah, I do. And oh, are some of you getting a little nervous? Okay. That's my hair bleach. Of course, I don't use the entire bucket and bottle. And the 20 volume. And all that. We're gonna bleach this. I've actually let it go longer than I normally do. If you can see those roots, they're actually pretty, because all I did was because it's a darker colors, even though this is, a light turquoise, it's or like an aqua turquoise, it still is a darker color compared to like pinks or oranges or anything that shows like brown against brown, a darker hair color. Oranges, yellows, some of the light greens, they show through the light pinks. But the darker things obviously don't show as quickly, as easily. It can be blended in a little better. And so it's time for, we're going in a different direction. We're in the middle of the winter. I actually opened the window about 15 minutes ago because I have to, because of this stuff. So I just want to show you, I've mixed that up. And this is like I said, I'm not a professional. I do my own shit. But I've been doing it a couple of years, so I've learned some things. No, it doesn't matter what my... It's from all different other things that I've had on. And then I got some bleach on this. But I mixed it up, and it's dry to the air already. But this is basically the consistency, and I am going to be back with you in 1 minute. Okay, my gloves are on, and I cannot handle those plastic gloves, the ones that fit loosely. I need to have them snug on my hands. And this because I can't, the plastic ones are just, I can't feel, I don't have any finger touch. Can't use them for painting or hair stuff or baking, cooking. I can't use those plastic things. They drive me freaking nuts. Even when I was young, working in those, first food places and stuff like that, it was so hard for me. They just, ugh. Let me know if any of you are the same way with those plastic ones. It just, I can't handle them. I can't be creative with hair, with baking, with painting, gardening, unless it's with thorns and it's thick gloves. I can't. Anyway, so normally this would be a retouch, but I'm not doing sectioning or anything because A, I want all of it done. B, I know what usually you do the stuff close to the scalp last, because it bleaches a lot faster because of the heat of the scalp is closer. But I often will put a silver bonnet thing on to keep it moist, and that builds up the heat, and it keeps, I mean, it goes fast. Plus, I have very, very fine hair, and I know my hair, so that stuff like that always has to be adjusted to your particular hair type, how it holds color, how it, releases color, that type of thing. All of that is like a little science that you got to figure that out for your own stuff. What colors your hair seems to hold easier, what it drops out of. What some people can get their hair to drop some of those colors with like crushed up vitamin C tablets mixed with developer or something like that. For some people that just doesn't do anything. So it's hard to give exacts for something like that. But besides all that, I know my like these red, see how that's coming into more, showing more of the red instead of the purple. That was the violet, and this was the purple. I need to get rid of some of that even on ends and stuff. Going is that even if the red doesn't come out all the way, I still have fadings, I'm going to be doing pinks anyway, and that's what it would fade to, so we're all good as far as that transition goes. So I'm not going to be doing sectioning and doing it in sections. For this shot, I did a little bit of a trim, but you can even see where some of the colors have dropped out and it's actually like white in the back area. So I am just going to slap it on, and I will be right back to show you what the proper amount. A lot of people will do the bleach, they do two mistakes. Well, a few mistakes. They don't do the right consistency, it's too thin, and if you have too much of bleach and not enough developer or vice versa, it doesn't work as well. It needs to be kind of an equal thing. The other thing is, hang on. The other thing is mix it correctly, put enough on. Put enough on. It should look white when you're done, not just like, not like conditioner that you let sit in. I mean, you should see the shit, okay? And how long. So the ratio mix, how much you put on, where you put it on for the purpose you're going for, and how long it stays on. A lot of people get a little freaked out, and they don't do the little tests where you rinse off a little piece or just pull it to see is it at least not stretching. If it's not doing a stretch, you're good. But a lot of people freak out and they rinse it off in 10 minutes, and it's like, y'all got at least 15-20 minutes at least before it's, for most hair. So I know, looking at me with this hair like this. So I will be back just to show you before I put it on and do the timing. So 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, I get it. I did the eyebrows because my eyebrows are not super dark already, and they're not very thick either. But I am gonna go for going into pink, so I just wanted to pop those on. But I just want to show you that you should be seeing that white. You should be seeing it's all the way down to the scalp. And so now I am going to let this sit for at least 30 minutes, especially since I have not done it for a little while. The other thing I want to make sure, I know you know that if you didn't make enough bleach, you can always make, it's not like when you're making mixing a color for like painting or hair or something and you didn't make enough and you can't make the exact shade to finish it. Bleach is, it doesn't matter. So don't go over, because you can't save it once it's mixed. You're gonna have to dump it, whatever you don't use. So just don't be like, oh, better extra than, because you can't save it. You can save it forever when they're separate. Once they're put together, Gots to use it. So I'm going to go cover this sucker up, and I'll be back. And here's my alien hat. Make sure it's I look like anybody who's old enough to have those Jiffy popcorn. Yep. But I can tell you what, it definitely it gets warm in here fast, very fast. And the other thing I need to let you guys know about bleaching your hair, if it's going to touch your scalp, some people just want to bleach the ends and do a color on the ends or something. So, but if that bleach is going to touch your scalp, you want to bleach hair that hits the roots when it's dirty, dye color when it's clean, and both times when they're dry. There are a few products that you're supposed, like that you put on while you shampoo while it's wet, or they have you wet it and you just put it on, but that's a temporary kind of hair color. For anything like this, it's bleach, dirty and dry. When you color, clean and dry. So I will wait my 30 minutes. I will rinse it off, and I will be back to show you. It's about 20 minutes in, and you can see, like I said, for my hair, what's showing. This was that darker purple, and that was that wine colored purple. I just put a dark blue on this side. That was red for Christmas, and this was red for Christmas. The rest was green. I put on this side, I put the atomic, that turquoise on top of the red, and I got that wine color, that burgundy. So I will be back again after I rinse this little suckers off, and you'll see it rinsed off and dry. We'll go from there. And rinsed out. You see a very, very bare faint color of blue. And I actually have a little bit of toner, just enough that'll work perfectly for that, because the back is pretty much either pink or white. But you see how it fell out? The red, that was red that I made purple, it's back to, and now it's just a pink. So if I put some of this when it's dry, I'll just tone these little spots with the toner, and that'll pop out that probably some of that blue. And then I will be using the Frosé on top of everything, and then deciding what it looks like, I'll probably put parts of this in, like my hair was over the summertime. This was the rainbow, the pink in it. So that is basically what it looks like. It's obviously, you don't condition it, because once it's dry, I'm going to let it sit, rest for a few hours. But you see the hair is not, it doesn't stretch, it doesn't break off, so it's in good condition still. Now, of course, after I put the colors in, I'll do a video for you on that. I'm going to wrap it up here. And one of the reasons I do want to mention, when you rinse out bleach, don't use hot water like what you would normally shower. That's why it's good to rinse out in the sink and for hair dye, and I'll tell you that in a minute. When you rinse out bleach, You don't want use it cooler than you normally like it, because bleach, that's why you do it on dirty hair, because some of those oils, it protects your scalp. Just like if you don't wear a hat and you're in the sun for a long time, hot sun, you get a sunburn and it just really, everything hurts. The cold hurts, the hot hair, yeah. Hot water. If you like a hot shower, really hot, you put that water on hair after it's had bleach in it for like half an hour. You're gonna feel it. It's gonna tingle. It's gonna burn. Some people can't handle it. I feel it still now. It's like, oh yeah, my scalp is going, yeah, I'm alive. I felt that. I know I look very different with white hair, and I was a platinum blonde for, oh man, a decade or so when I was younger. But that's why you want your hair to be a day or two of not shampooing, not washing it before you bleach it. Ultimately, I mean, that's the best scenario. And obviously with color, you don't want dirt to like block spaces where you can't get the color on it. So the other thing is with bleach, you, like I said, use a cooler water, but it doesn't have to be cold, just not hot. But make sure you rinse it more than like you rinse for shampooing. Usually a lot of people, you rinse it once it's gone, whatever was in the hair, you stop rinsing it. With bleach, they actually suggest 10 to 15 minutes of just rinsing it, and that actually does help, because it's washing every little molecule of way of not just the bleach, but the dyes that was deposited just laying on the hair shafts. It helps get those, away, especially if you're going to be dyeing your hair after your hair dries that same day, because you're not giving it any chance. Now, if you're going to wash your hair for, once or twice, a couple days, and then dye it, which most people don't do, because you don't walk around like this until then, that's something different. Now, when you're rinsing out vibrant colored hair dyes, non-traditional ones, you need to use as cool as water as your head can handle, because the cooler the water, the more vibrant it'll stay. Because when it's first in your hair, it doesn't it seeps. You know how when you're cooking, you let something sit overnight and it absorbs the flavors, either like before you grill meat or casseroles or something. They just meld better after they've sat together and mingled and conversed with each other for a while. I feel it's the same thing. There have been times when I was do the rainbow ones with like light colors, that I would let it stay in my hair until it dries. My hair is all sticky, like sticking up and dry, to really let it sit in those lighter colors. And from my hair, I'm just saying, from my hair, that seems to really, really work well. So, just a few tips. Always use it as cool as you can when you're rinsing out vibrant dyes. It just keeps the color in better. And all of them will say that. Like I said, as far as leaving it in, most of the time you can leave it in 10, 20 minutes, and it'll be great. It'll take perfectly. For my hair, I noticed if it's a color that I wanted to hang out for more than just a month or so, or if it's a very light color, I definitely will let it sit in there for an hour. It's not. That's the one thing about the hair colors like Arctic Fox, Lunar Tides, Manic Panic. They're not like box dyes. It's not like you can leave it in too long. There's no, because they're full of conditioners. I mean, really, they feel better than your hair felt before you put it in. And so that's pretty much all I've learned so far. That's everything I've ever learned. No, obviously I've learned more, but the basics that I've taken away, the ones you really want to remember. So I'm gonna let this sucker dry, go do some more little chores, and I'm not even really all that about caring if I comb it while it's drying or anything, because I'm going to sometime during today put these pinks in, and I'm not going anywhere, so it doesn't matter if it's all floofy looking. So you see the next video where I'm putting the colors in and it's all floofed beforehand, you'll know why. I do no styling. Zippo. Anyway, have a good Sunday. I will see you a bit later.